Synergy. Synergy. So today we need to rehome this small band of survivors. This is the demo for a game called Synergy, and it is beautiful. I love this art style. Anyway, I'm going to do our best for us not to die of thirst or hunger. So first we need to address this water situation. The only water source we have close to us is this very poisonous looking lake. Our only option right now is to build a pontoon and try and collect some of it. But we can also build these things called retention basins, and they'll help us process that poisonous water into clean drinking water. And we'll also put down a water tower just to help store some of this stuff. So cool that you can see them building each stage of these little buildings. Like this guy's pretty much finished his pontoon now. He's just hammering the last few nails in. We've got 5 available citizens, so why don't we assign 2 of them to work at the pontoon? And they've changed outfits for this special occasion. They kind of look like beekeepers. Ooh, Shalulon, hello. Now that they're in there, they should be collecting some of this poisonous water. It's going to take a couple of days though. If we speed up time a little bit, we should be able to build these other things pretty quickly. There's our water tower and both of our retention basins as well. So we'll assign a citizen to each one of those. Just need 2 people to come to these little pontoons. I think we're just waiting for some of this toxic water, which is just about done. So I've collected 10 toxic water. Now someone should collect that and take it to one of our retention basins. There it goes. They're going to need quite a bit more to get this rolling. So why don't we allocate 2 more citizens? Everyone seems to be coming from right over here where there's this starting storage area. So I might just help them out a little bit by building a trail. I think we can probably just do a big straight shoot right up here. That way they should walk a little bit faster along this path. And we've loaded up one of the pontoons finally, so this guy can get to work stirring this toxic water, stirring it enough until it turns clean. But that's going to take 8 days as well, so we're going to have to speed up time again. I could just watch them stir these pots all day. This hand-drawn style they've got is just so nice to look at. And there's lots of weird plants around the place as well. A riverbank finger and a cinder sprout. We'll be getting into those things very soon. And now we've unlocked a storage area, which is this small warehouse. So if we place it up here, that should be fine. But to build that, we're going to need some more resources that we don't have yet. One of them is this little rock down here. So we can use our little secateurs icon and we can actually mine these. And one of our villagers will come down now and collect all the rock that's there. If we speed it up, they can do this even quicker. Apparently you didn't need the rock to actually build the warehouse. But because we have it, we can now store our rock in there. Now that that's all sorted out, we can have a think about building some houses. A rudimentary tent. We can just relegate someone to sleeping in a tent. Looks pretty cozy, actually. There's 3 of these stone houses, so maybe we just build one of each of them. I kind of want to see what they all look like on their own. These houses take all of their food, water, and supplies only from storage areas that are nearby. So we also need to build one of these cellars so they've got access to all of those materials. Okay, so the first houses are built, and it's telling me there's no nearby storage for food or water. So if they would hurry up and build this cellar, then we could solve that problem. This looks like a little cubby house. Could be like a dog kennel from the future. And you can also see these little purple lines. I think that tells you where everybody's working. So the 2 people that live in here work down on the pontoon in the retention basin. And oh great, our cellar's done now as well. We still need to bring the supplies over here. Oh yeah, but we're doing it. Amazing. Now we're getting some of this clean water brought over to our cellar. So now we've got our water situation sorted out. We're going to have to start moving on to food. There are these little bushes around I can see. A sharp bush, which doesn't sound very pleasant. Now we could use our little withdraw resources on there to collect it, but just like with the stone that was down here, it would actually destroy the resource. So for us to get around that, we can build this little field lab. We can actually research the little things around this planet to learn new skills or tricks. The only type of analysis we can do right now is a surface analysis. So we can tell them to go and have a look at these little sharp bushes. And he's just going to go and fiddle around in that bush over there. That sounds far more inappropriate than I was supposed to. I think since I've already got a second person, I should be able to do the same thing with this tree that's over here as well. So we can have a look at both of those things. And now we've got our first analysis report back. So I've learned from these sharp bushes that we can get moisture pods and also sticks. And on that note, it's probably good for us to build one of these things, which is a picker's cabin. Where's a good spot for that? I might just put it out on this side here. We'll connect a little road there as well. Lots of other little plants around as well, so I might just send them out to research lots of the different things around here. There's also these weird coral looking things over down near the toxic water. There's a few weird things up here as well. Oh, that's something. That's a glowy thing. That looks important. Okay, there's these little trees as well. Cabbage shrub. And I think that's all the different things that I can find. Oh no, these. I don't know what these are. Let's research them as well. Now that we've got this picker's cabin though, we can assign a few citizens to that. And we can pick one of two tasks. We can basically collect food from plants, or we could trim the plants. So we could collect things like bark and thorns. We're after food right now, so we're definitely going to go for fruit picking. We may as well start with these couple of sharp bushes that are right here. But the best thing about doing it this way is we don't destroy the bush once we've picked it. So they'll be able to pick the berries from these bushes, and over time they'll grow back. We've also had a couple more analysis reports done as well. There's a thing called a whipping gourd, which can give us some isothermal gel. So we've got a whole bunch of research done for these sharp bushes already. So the first one we learned was the prune. So if we cut it down and destroy it, we'll get both of those resources. But we could also just pick them and get moisture pods, or prune them and get sticks. And also with a cinder sprout, it looks like we could get bark and a cinder kernel, whatever that is. We picked all of those sharp bushes pretty quickly, so we're going to have to expand where we're collecting our food. Looks like there's quite a lot out here as well, so we might just pick all of these little sharp bushes around here. A few of these other little things that will give us bark too, so we'll also add those on. I'm sure we'll need bark for something soon. Oh, and there's weird looking coral things at the toxic water. They'll give us seeds if we cut them down, and if we try and prune them, it'll actually kill the plant, so that's good to know. Looks like we've got 2 citizens that don't have a house as well, so we're going to have to build a 4th house. Can only seem to build them in 2 different directions though. Left or right, slightly. Maybe even 2 more houses would be good. Some more research came in about those cabbage shrubs, and from those we could get vegetables and also flexible fibers. That sounds like a really useful plant. They're quite a long way away though, so why don't we put in a road there, and I'll build a picker's cabin all the way out here. I also want to know what this thing is. Oh, this looks like a ruins where we can get ancient technology. Okay, we're definitely taking that apart. Tell me there's like laser guns or like hoverboards or something. That would be so good. All right, this guy's coming back with something. Moisture pods. Okay, he's got more moisture pods. We can see up the top here a list of all of the food that we've got. Looks like we've got a decent amount of moisture pods, but we're not going good on everything else. We know where the vegetables come from now. We do have 200 water, which is pretty nice though. Let's just build another pontoon. Even if we don't use it yet, at least we've got it there. My main concern right now is that we're going to run out of food and water. Okay, good. They're finally taking apart the ruins. And our other picker's cabin is just being completed as well, which is great news. Let's see what Firo picks up. Okay, you just dropped it on the ground, I see. Oh, so technologies are things that we can't actually manufacture. We have to collect from around the map. Now that this picker's cabin's done though, I might throw a couple more citizens in there, and they can do some more fruit picking on some of these vegetable plants. There's actually a lot of them around. We may as well get a couple of these little sharp bushes as well. And I built one more picker's cabin over on this side. With this one, we can try some trimming. With trimming now, we've got the ability to get things like sticks, which is probably going to be important later on. All right, now that we've got a lot of our resource gathering under control, first thing we can build is this little kitchen. Actually, I say little, it's pretty friggin' huge. It's like a giant pizza oven or something like that. We ran out of rocks, so we had to collect just a little bit extra. Actually, that's quite a lot. Each of those is 30. While we're collecting everything for that kitchen, we can also build a forge. And I think this one lets us make some spacey tools. I might just wang a bit of a path in the middle here. We've got the giant pizza oven starting now. What is that thing? Looks like a tree stump that a beaver's chewed in half. Now, we've only got one available citizen, which is a bit of a problem. Might just have to reduce our pickers for now. I'll put just one picker in each of these huts. And I think our water production is really good, so I'll just drop that down by 1 as well. We need a good supply of villagers without jobs because they're the ones that transport all the goods around from different shops. We can even take one from our field lab too because we're not researching anything at the moment. So they're going to go and sort out all of our water, collect all of our stone from down here, and they'll also do all of the building as well. Oh, we've just hit a new cycle as well. So in this game, a cycle is 40 days, and it looks like our next couple of cycles are temperate, which is good for us. And then cycle 6 is going to be a dry season. So we're gonna have to make sure we've got plenty of water before then. And actually that's scaring me. Thinking we should just throw in another random water tower in the middle of our city. I'll just put one person in our kitchen and now we can get simple meals. That basically means that all of our citizens will be fuller for longer. So what we need is moisture pods, vegetables, and clean water. I mean, luckily we've got all of those things. Now we'll have a look at this forge as well. If I just allocate one citizen there. Ah, yeah, so this outputs tools. And to do that, we need sticks and clean water. Actually, we don't have any sticks right now. What is this guy doing? Okay, well, he'll collect sticks in his own time. This little water tower is finished now. I'm going to turn off the toxic water. I don't want them to store any in there, but we definitely want a whole bunch of clean water. Oh, yeah, look, you're trying to put toxic water in there already. We don't want it. Like, they're dropping the one they carry and they pick up the one next to it. That's a child. We've got children now. It looks like we've got 3 children. I think every time a cycle moves around, if you do have spaces in your house, like this one that's 3 or 4 capacity, I think you have a chance of getting a child in there. We might need to bump up our population a bit anyway, so that's probably a good idea. Just gonna throw some extra cooks into the kitchen. For us to keep progressing, we're gonna have to make 40 simple meals and 10 tools. All right, we're really pumping out the food now. We're gonna reach that in no time. Thing we could really use though are these sticks. What's the hold up on these sticks? Maybe if we prioritize the forge, we can get them to bring some sticks over. Jeez, how long does it take? They're right here. This cabin right here is full of sticks. I just want them on my forge, please. Actually, why don't we take both of the pickers out of the cabin and they can help transport some things. I think we'll have to prioritize this little picker's hut as well. Oh yeah, okay, that worked a treat. That's what we had to do. Apparently the citizens had other priorities other than getting our tools made, which is the one thing we needed. I love how this forge looks. Actually, all of the buildings just look so cool. These houses kind of have like an alternative Tatooine vibe going on. Right, and over here, it looks like our water production is going very strongly. And we just finished our first set of tools, which is amazing. Looks like now we've got the option to build some districts in our little town, which is exactly what we need to keep expanding. The first thing we can build is this little cultural square. So this might be a good place just to throw it down. I'm just kind of cramming everything in together, but that's totally fine, right? We should get this infirmary as well, which we might be able to squeeze up this end of town. All right, well, we're just beginning a new cycle now as well, but no children this time around. We did just have 4 adults join our town randomly, so they probably took up all the last spots in our houses. Look at these futuristic building techniques, where just hammering a flat surface randomly builds that object for you. It actually looks like we've got a homeless citizen, so we definitely need to build more houses. You know what? I don't want to build another house right now. I'm going to give you this little tent. Actually, it's more like a swag, which is basically a tent that you can only lie down in if you've never heard of one of those before. Now that we've got our cultural square, we can pick what district we want it to become. So these all give different social bonuses. This historic district improves your culture production. The creative district means houses can have more maximum culture points. And there's the social district, which the tutorial wants us to build. This increases the amount of socializing and leisure points we can obtain from houses. We've got 3 houses in the district, so the last thing we need is a canteen, and then we should have our fully functioning social district. And our infirmary is also done. We've got 11 spare citizens, so I might just put one person in there just in case we need them. Now that we've got so many citizens again, I'm gonna fill out our picker cabins a little bit more again. Don't want to fall behind on food or water. Oh, and our little tent's done. Sam Mofa is living their best life in the tent under the tree, right next to the sharp bush. So look, they've got shade, they've got berries to pick right outside their door. What else could they possibly want? This water tower is full of clean water now. I can't believe that. I'm just going to build another one straight away. Let's just get a massive stockpile of water. Now with our cultural square, we need to get these district points up to 200. We've got to build some of these things down below. Why don't we try this one? A sun awning? That looks pretty cool. I love the design of all of these buildings though. Except I don't know how I feel about this infirmary. Looks a bit like a unpopped pimple or something gross like that. Our canteen is finally done, so I'm gonna pop someone in there. Now that we've finished the cultural square, we've actually unlocked 2 of the other districts as well. So for our quest, we need to build a scent garden. And to do that, we're gonna need to build one of these botanical squares. So I think let's move away from this area. Maybe up here would be nice. Why don't we just plop it in here somewhere? Like up there, maybe. All right, and we'll put in a couple of houses as well. I think we're going to need 3 houses here. Oh, it looks like we're short on tree trunks, so we'll cut some of those down while we're waiting as well. Maybe some of these trees that are quite far away, like these couple over here. Our botanical square's done. Perfect. Now, we get to pick our district again, just like with the other one. These are a little bit different though. There's a natural district, which speeds up plant development. Sounds like you can get farms in this or something, which sounds really cool. There's also the agricultural district, which does something with soil modifier type buildings. And the one we're going to need is called the Flourishing District, and that lets us build this scent garden. Basically, this increases the maximum amount of well-being points that houses can have in this district. Before I forget, I'm also going to build a cellar in with these houses. We need to make sure they've got access to food and water. And here's our scent garden too. So why don't we just plonk that thing in here? Well, for this one, we need seeds though. So let's go, I think it was these corals, wasn't it? So if we go and destroy a couple of corals, we should get some seeds from them. Do you have seeds? Wait, where are you going? Let me check. Yes, you do have seeds, and you're just going to throw them there apparently. Right, looks like we've hit another new cycle. This one again is a temperate, but it looks like our next one's going to be a dry season. So we need to make sure we've got plenty of water. And there we go. There's our scent garden. Looks like it's a hot air balloon trapped in a little flower garden. Like that whole thing could fly away. And some of our villagers are... How are you thirsty? There's nearly 900 water. Are you telling me the cellar's empty? Oh, the cellar's empty. Okay, let's prioritize this. Why is no one carrying water? There should be plenty of people not doing anything. We fixed it. Prioritizing things for the win. Oh, okay. The tent might be an issue. He got too hot in his tent and he had to leave. Now he's got heat exhaustion. Turns out tents are not a great idea. Maybe you should move to a proper house. All right, we just need to get one of these houses to 15 well-being. So I'm just building a whole bunch of these little fountains around the place. This is the fun and recreation zone. It's only built from puddles, 1 table. Oh, and also this little ground medallion. Oh, amazing. That definitely did the trick. One of our houses has a well-being score of 15. We got some extra villagers because we progressed as well. And as far as food goes, our basic ingredients we're not doing very well at all. We've got quite a lot of prepared food and still a whole bunch of water. Oh, we're currently in a dry season as well. That's the issue. All right, that's a bit of a worry. We're most of the way through the dry season. We do have plenty of water, but it looks like in the dry seasons, the plants kind of shrivel up and they stop producing fruit. So hopefully we'll just scrape through the dry season. Now our town's going so well that we're actually got access to some research centers now. So there's this little one called a research center. Makes sense. But there's also this giant one, which is a hall of wisdom. So I'm going to plonk that down there as well. These things just look so awesome. I love how you can watch them build the different areas of each of the buildings. Okay, our research center is done first. So we've got 15 citizens available. Oh my gosh. Now we've got access to these research trees, which is just awesome. There's the technology tree, and there's also the culture tree. In this research tree, there's loads of new houses. I don't know if all of them are in the demo. There's cool things you can build, like these irrigation canals so that you can spread water during dry seasons. Other kinds of advanced technologies. And you can also upgrade your smaller buildings, like this upgrade means that we're more efficient for picking fruit from these pickers' huts. Before we can see the other upgrades, we need this Hall of Wisdom to finish, but it is taking forever. This thing's huge. Oh, there we go. I love how this building looks. These are all the cultural researchers. And the thing we need to get is this thing here. This will give us an explorer's hut, and that means that we can send some of our citizens out on exploration missions. This says it's going to take 32 days, but I think we can just throw a whole bunch of our people in there, and that's going to bring it all the way down to 8 days. We've only got 2 days left of the dry season as well, so I think we're going to be fine. We've got well over 500 food and 700 water left. Oh, and now we're back into a temperate season, which is fantastic. Oh yeah, you can see all of the plants. They turned green again and got all of their fruit back. So we're back in business as far as food goes. All right, our research is done. And now we should have access to the explorer's hut. Oh, perfect. Okay, let's build this little guy out here. And we may as well make a little path to it as well. Love a little path. There's a few people that are very dehydrated, but for some reason, I mean, we've got so much water, it's just not getting over there. I'm not sure why my guys aren't carrying any water for them. And now that our explorer's hut is ready, we can do the final part of this tutorial. Gives us access to this world map, which is really cool. So there's different areas that we can explore, and even a whole new region over here, which is a big lake area. I don't know how big this is going to be in the full game, but hopefully it's a massive area on the planet. The one place we need to go to, though, is this little cave. We need to find out what the source of that chaotic blink is. Looks like the minimum number of people we can send is 4, or we could send 10. I'm going to send 10 whole people to investigate this blink. We've just been told our expedition has arrived at its destination. Okay, we see the glow coming from this cave. We're definitely forcing our way open and entering. Oh, and fantastic. Everybody died. All 10 of them. Ah, dear. Maybe smaller expedition teams make more sense. But that seems to be the end of the tutorial. There's still a few bugs, but it's definitely worth checking out if you like city builders. Alright pals, if you're into this game, let me know. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? Love you. Mwah. Okay, bye.